Kids, listen to your mother.
Mom!
Welcome to Between Us Moms with Katie Crafts-Morg and Hallie Stevens-Drake.
Hi, guys, and welcome to a brand new episode of Between Us Moms. We are thrilled to welcome back an incredible mom to the show this week. You know and love her from Dancing with the Stars, but you have stayed and continued supporting her for her journey and for who she is as a woman. She is candid, strong, funny, gorgeous. She's a dancer, an actress, a storyteller, a true creative, and like me and Hallie, she also has a new podcast with one of her besties, Peta Murgatroyd, called Stuck Into It. She's gracious, fierce, talented. She's a wonderful mama. Please welcome back to the podcast, Sharna Burgess.
I'm just reminded right now of how your intros make me feel. Like the last one that you did, I remember being like, how do I follow that up? And then this one was so beautiful. Thank you for that on a Monday morning after the school rush. That made me feel really good. Thank you.
Yay! That's what we do here. You know, we want it to be a feel-good place, which kind of leads me. So we're doing something new with the podcast where we kind of ask our guests first to kind of set the intention for the episode. Like, what do you want listeners to take away from the conversation that we're about to have about life and motherhood and female friendships?
Female friendships. So two different things, I guess. The things that come to mind is, first of all, we're all in it together. No matter what life looks like online or what you think someone has because of what they do or what you get to view of their life, we all go through the same things and the same anxieties and the same stresses and the same life stuff being mums. It's a universal thing, I think, the hardships, the stresses, and the beauty of motherhood. So know that I just want it to be relatable for people to be like, oh, she gets it too. She has that too. We're all in this together. And then as far as friendships go, you know how important they are, especially female friendships for women. That's something I learned honestly in my 20s, how much I needed to value female friendships. And that only strengthened in my 30s, especially when going through breakups and suddenly you're not with that guy anymore. And you're like, oh, I need my tribe. I need my circle. I need my women around me. Yeah, they take away those two things.
Yeah. By
That's
the way, are you in a recording studio right now? Because your audio is so good.
Yes, I am in Brian's music studio. So maybe people don't know this about Brian, but part of his David Silver character was being a DJ and music, right? That's because that's what he did in life. He actually went to college and studied music. His dad was a drummer with a lot of different bands traveling the world, and that's what he was going to do. He's a fantastic drummer. He creates beats and music all the time. He had a rap album in the 90s that was phenomenal, but because he was David Silver, no one was ready to accept it. But he gets a lot of praise for it now from big heads in the hip hop world and producers. It's crazy. So he has a whole music studio that is amazing that we also do our podcasts from.
Are you guys going to release an album together? Is he like working on an album?
Him and I together? Girl.
Well, because you can
You could
I
be
don't
his
know.
dancer. You could be his like video girl.
Can we just imagine that for a second? Brian Austin Green at 52 years old and his 40-year-old wife being his backup dancer. I think listen, it could be awesome. It also could not be very awesome.
Listen, if he wants to release music, I'm here for it because I very much grew up on 90210 and I would love to see it. Like
That
same.
part he should do. The releasing music, regardless. I mean, I was making a stick about age because of me being his backup dancer, but he is fantastic and he's worked on stuff, he's written stuff. I listen to it. I hope he does at some point release music again and try again, but it really shattered him. It was his first failure, his first heartbreak. He loved the hip hop world. It was his culture that he was just so ingrained in him. He loved it. He lived it. And when he was rejected by it, it was really hard for him to come back from. So that's why he never did another one. But I hope he gets encouraged by so many people, artists and music producers to do another one. And he's playing with the idea of it. So we'll see.
Okay.
Oh, I am here. I will download. I will buy the album. I'll get it on vinyl. Does he ever
I'll let him know.
Yeah. Does he ever serenade you?
He does more. He can sing totally, but he's really good at rapping. Which is very cool. He doesn't just bust out and freestyle for me, which I would honestly love, but no, he doesn't do that at the moment. But he does show me and I guess perform for me some of the things that he's written and that he's been working on and playing around with. So I do get to see him do his thing. He's very talented.
And cool for the kids to see that too. Kids are inherently so musical. I feel like just they're in being born, they're born to be musical. So what a cool thing.
Yeah.
Insanely musical. Noah, my oldest bonus baby, has been working on creating beats. And when I tell you some of the songs that Noah has created, it's wild. And then Journey, my 9-year-old bonus baby, he does rap diss tracks back and forth with his friends at school. They're a lot, but they're actually really good. So yeah, there's a lot in there where they've picked up from their dad because we also have music in our house constantly. We have a Sonos system in every room, and every section of the home has a different vibe. The bedrooms have a different vibe to like the living room, family room, common space for the daytime and nighttime. It shifts into spa music. It's like he curates sound everywhere. So the kids have grown up with that.
I am obsessed with that. My husband Jason also loves a sonar system. And when I tell you, I'm like, what is this weird black like box in every single room that the kids like to climb on? He's like, no, that's what makes the sound good. I'm like,
Yeah.
but do we need this? He's like,
Yeah.
yes, we need it. And I'm
You're
glad
like,
that
it's
you're
messing with my aesthetic. Okay. Yeah,
truly, truly, but I'm glad that your kids are benefiting from that more than
totally.
mine. That is awesome. Sorry, not to veer off. That really went off course for a minute.
That
I
was
know.
my fault though. I was started talking in a whole different direction. Sorry, guys.
Obviously it's so fun to talk about the husbands. You were so generous with us last time we sat down. We talked so much about your blended family and just, dancing with the stars. And right now, such a hot topic is female friendships, especially
Mm.
in motherhood. So we thought it might be nice to just kind of talk about that because you and Peta do have this incredible podcast that we are obsessed with. We were talking about it a little bit before we started recording. And I'd love if you could just tell everybody, in case they haven't heard about it, what inspired you guys to start this together. You're so raw and so real.
Thank you. That is genuinely just Peter's and my friendship. We have over 20 years of friendship with each other. And so we just prattle on with each and chat and talk about, and naturally we divert in all these different ways because there's so much life that we've lived with each other, so much experience, so many versions of each other. It's incredibly unfiltered. Could you say it's vulnerable? I guess, yeah, because we just openly share. It's funny because we're funny together. We pick on each other a little bit, but in the best of ways with love. And we really decided, I don't know why it took us so long to do it. We really decided to do it because we were doing the Dancing with the Stars recaps with each other and we would get off track. And we noticed in the comments that everyone was like, this was great, but I loved that 10 minutes where you guys went off track and were talking about life. And we thought, yeah, why not just give it a shot? We thought we won't do any like massive promo around it. We'll just record a couple things and see how it goes, see what happens. We had no idea if anyone was even going to follow what we were talking about, but they loved it. They feel like they're sitting in on a girl chat. And of course, it seems like there's, I wouldn't call it tea because that's not the name of the game, but because people know us and know people in our friend circle and whatever, they can say like, oh, right, that was Val or that was Jenna because that's, extended family. And it's really fun. But one of the coolest things about it, guys, is I get scheduled time with my bestie because as I said to you, we were living in Malibu together, not together, but like 2 miles away from each other for about 2 years, and we rarely saw each other because motherhood kicked in for then both of us. And we just got so busy between dancing and Dancing with the Stars and being a mom. It was like, how do we even get in time for just us? And now I get this scheduled time where we get to hang out for an hour to 2 hours by the time we're done and just talk about all the things, reminisce on history, get nostalgic, talk about future stuff, get really honest about where we're at, what we're hoping for in the year. I've been really honest in sharing about, where I am in my motherhood journey and now really needing something for myself. Like I've popped up now and I'm like, okay, I've been deep in motherhood for 3 years since Zaina's born. I need something for me now. People just get let in on the jokes and the realness of her and my friendship.
We relate to that so much because that's like why we started our podcast. We were like, we need scheduled time. We need something because we're so immersed in motherhood. And for me, like I had this career and it was on the up, 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 up. And then I had like 2 babies back to back. And I was like, wait, what is going on? And I think one of the things too that's really nice to see is that even when you guys aren't on Dancing with the Stars, that friendship is still there. And I think I'm going to get vulnerable for a second. Someone said to me recently, like, well, we don't really have the industry in common anymore. And you're like a mom now. And I was like, so that means we're not friends? It kind of broke my heart a little bit. And I wondered, is that the case for you and everybody on the show? Like, do you guys still have that like deep supportive connection, or did you ever experience anything like that?
So it's something like it, and it's no shade to anyone. It's just how
No.
life separates, and there certainly wasn't ever conversations like that. I'm so sorry you received that from someone you thought was a friend, because that's hard to receive when you're going through so many changes in your own life and your identity changes. That's tough. For me, it's what changed is Dancing with the Stars is so consuming, right? We are there constantly, so naturally we are each other's tribe. Naturally, when birthdays come up, we're leaving a rehearsal, we're all at each other's birthdays. Like, we are just in each other's lives all the time. Especially when think about when it was 2 seasons a year and a tour in between. There was no time without each other. That's why everyone dated each other. Like, who else were you gonna meet? You know?
So
And
real.
Yeah.
so real. And that worked out beautifully for so many people. But the thing is, I left that experience, but it's still wholly consuming. And at the same time, so many people are now also having babies and in their family life and trying to manage both of them. So while I'm still connected to and absolutely love everybody there, and when I see them, it's like, oh my God, the realest of hugs with a big squeeze and like, tell me about your life. I miss you. What's happening? I'm so sorry I missed little one's birthday. Like, whatever it is, we catch up. It's not the same because I don't see them every day. So they are no longer necessarily my tribe, because that has formed. Peter obviously still is. We have over before Dancing with the Stars a friendship. So we have that connection. But my circle shifted to people that are closer to home and people from the school and, that are more in my world of every day, because that's kind of easier, right? I'm not trying
It
to
is.
schedule, balance schedules with someone in between their rehearsal and my schedule and this and that. It just got impossible after a while. So it's not that my tribe shifted because there was love lost or, anyone changed. It was schedules and proximity and everything changed. And both of our lives are so wholly consuming that we just have to get together when we can.
Ain't that the truth about motherhood? It's like, yeah, you become friends with people who are in the same season and yeah, the schools, and there's just not time.
There's not time, not if you want to be in it in the way that I want to be in it. Like, I want to be involved. These are the years of my kiddos' lives where they go in a blink of an eye.
Yeah.
And so I want to be involved and I want to do more and I want to be at the school for every single event and I want to be a part of this meeting and that meeting and involved in my kids' lives, because once that's gone, it's a very short amount of time. And then the rest of it will be time left for something else. But I don't want to look back and think, oh, I wish I was more involved, or oh, I didn't know that happened, or miss out on the opportunity to build connections with other mamas that are in my space and experiencing some of the same things in the same age groups as what I have.
Right.
There's a beauty in that, and so it's sort of about building new friendships too.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that you said that. We're having a Super Bowl party on Sunday, and it's going to be a bunch of 2-year-olds, 2.5-year-olds, and their parents. And I'm like,
Amazing.
this is our season.
That's exactly it, and it
Yeah.
will pass,
Yeah.
and then you'll miss it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Katie and I love to give other moms their flowers, especially when, it's just, I think there's so much negativity online, especially now with like toxic mom groups really in the headlines so much. And since PETA is your bestie, we thought it might be sweet if you took a moment to give her flowers. What do you love about the way she mothers and just the way she walks through the world as a mom?
Oh my gosh, Peta Murgatroyd. She, first of my friends to have a baby, I watched her just fall into it so naturally. Such an incredible mom in the way of, like, she was 6, 7 weeks postpartum when she first had Shy and she went back to Dancing with the Stars. And she ran herself ragged to make sure she could give him and be there for every breastfeeding, for every this, for every bedtime. She just had such a beautiful way of organizing her schedule. She was running on absolutely nothing. She was doing the most for her career and for her baby at the same time. It was wild to watch and so inspiring to watch. And over the years, I've just, she's now a mum of 3, 2 very close together. I think you call them Irish twins at this point.
She's exactly the same as my 2, her youngest.
Right. Okay. And
Uh-huh.
that's intense. Let me tell. And watching her experience that third pregnancy, and it was how am I going to do this? How am I going to? It was deep joy. She'd been through so much with so many miscarriages. And there was deep joy in knowing that there was another one coming. And she knew that she even asked for this. She talked on our podcast. She's like, God, please let me just do it back to back. If I ever get pregnant again, let me do it back to back. Suddenly she's doing it back to back. She's like, oh my God, how am I going to do this? But watching her do it, the changes in her body, like having to, as a dancer, fully surrender to it's gone. It's gone and it will come back when it comes back. And I just have to surrender the fact that my body is for these two other babies right now. As a dancer, I mean, already as a woman, that's hard. As a dancer, where physical image and your body, it's something that we have a complicated relationship from when we're young, right?
Yeah.
And it was beautiful watching her surrender to that and be like, that's cool. These are my babies and this is what I'm here for. And then just watching her as a parent. She is an amazing businesswoman in running Peter Jane and building this absolute empire that she has, but she doesn't miss out on things for her kids. She gets them to the sports games and the dance lessons. She's there for all of the important stuff. There's no kid looking out in the audience being like, where's mama? She makes sure she's there for everything. And I bet she's more exhausted than she even tells me, but it's so beautiful to see her because she says the same thing. These years are going to go so fast and she doesn't want to turn around and not be present for them.
Right.
She constantly makes sure that they're eating good food. She doesn't sacrifice on anything. She wants the best of the best all the time. And she is the one that does that. And I don't mean in material possessions. I mean the best food, the best enrichment, the best schools, quality time. It's really impressive. And I've learned so much from her, watching her as a mum and how to be one myself.
It's so nice to
cry.
hear. Me too, because it's so nice to hear other moms speak so highly of their other mom friends. I feel like we need more of that. Like it's just and it's so real. Like I could tell that you're being so genuine. And I feel like she would say the same thing about you.
Yeah, she's given me flowers often, especially, yes, in parenting, but I think more specifically in step parenthood, because it's a whole other thing to step into for mamas and it's a whole other world. And even she says, she's like, I'm not sure if I could or how I could because of the dynamics, right? For every blended family, not just mine. And so she often gives me my flowers, which always feel very good.
You deserve all those flowers too, Sharna. Like you are a saint. I think you know that.
Thank you very much. I
And
appreciate that.
You do it so well. So you talked about, you've been in the deep motherhood journey for 3 years. You are ready for something that is yours again. And I don't know if you heard this, but Jennifer Lawrence said that she considers herself a stay-at-home mom. How do you feel about that label? Do you feel like you've been a stay-at-home mom? Do you feel like you're something in between? And do you think we need to kind of relabel that label? And part two is what does this next thing look like for you?
That's so interesting. The stay-at-home mom, yes and no. I'm in between. Because I still do a lot of work and a lot of work from home and I have a lot of branding deals that I work on. I still judge Dancing with the Stars in Australia. There's other things that I do, occasional shows here and there, but it's not as much as it used to be where I'm stepping out and going to work all the time and always creating, and I miss it. So I don't want to be a stay-at-home mom, and I actually don't consider myself one. That is a whole amazing, that's such a big job, being a stay-at-home mom, right? And the weight of that, people don't realize it unless you're doing it. In the months or the weeks where it's been me and I'm staying at home and Brian's traveling for work or whatever that is, and it's all me, it is so hard. It's so hard. And we sometimes occasionally have help, amazing grandparents step in, and that's helpful. But you are the main parent and doing the raising and the regulating and the moral compass building and all the stuff. And it's really, really intense work. It's beautiful work and I love it, but I need the balance as a creative. I need that balance for me of other things.
Yeah.
These last 3 years, I mean, I never intended it to be this way because I always thought I was going to go back to dancing after that 1 year mark. And then life just shifted. And it's beautiful that it did because it led me into other things. I've been acting. I've filmed 2 movies now. I'm filming another one later in this month. There's other things that I've been working on which have been super exciting for me. I wouldn't change what it was. I wouldn't change that stay-at-home mom experience that I've had the last couple years. But I do feel for me, I'm at that point now, maybe because Zane's in school and he's a little older, and I feel like there's stuff that I'm not happy to miss, but I don't have to be around for all the things that I can do some stuff for me now.
Yeah.
And I think I need it. I need dance back in my life, and creating and performing, and acting is wonderful. It gives me that too. Dancing with the Stars, judging that is amazing. Doing the podcast with Peter is a really good time, but I need something a little bit more for me. I was so busy dancing all the time. My body misses it.
I think you're going to go back. It's funny, after our last podcast we did, I feel like, I don't know if you felt this, but there were so many headlines that came out about you maybe going back to dancing, and then people saw you in
Yeah.
the audience again and they were like, oh my God, is it because of what she said? Well, at least we got that feedback. And I was like, I think it made people miss you already more than they had been missing you. And so,
Yeah. It would be so fun. Like, what, going back to Dancing with the Stars? I mean, would I dance on it again? I think I would now. There was a period where I was like, oh, I would love to go back and judge it. I do that in Australia, and that is still the case. I would love that. But I've been missing dance so much lately that I would love that. I would love to go back and have that intense schedule of dancing and rehearsal and pushing my body and teaching a person that experience that is only unique to Dancing with the Stars, that I used to love and be so good at, and in teaching someone how to dance and giving them a story and an arc. And I do miss that. I do miss it. So I think, honestly, at this point, if they asked, I would actually say yes to dancing in it again.
The
I know.
fans would lose their minds. They miss you. Everyone misses you. So do you watch the show and like, do you ever think like, ooh, I wish I could have been partnered with that person? I have like a vision of what I could have done. Is that something that you think about ever?
You know, that's so funny. No, in the years, because I just see it. I'm like, wow, she's doing such a great job. I love that. He's a great partner for her. He's not a great partner for her.
Yeah.
I don't think I've actually injected myself into anyone else's partnership. Like, I wish I could have done that job. It's so funny. I haven't, but I looked at it and thought, God, I miss that. I've looked at some of the opening numbers. God, I wish I could do that. Like, be a part of that experience again. And those opening number rehearsals with Mandy Moore. Theme nights, when they did 90s theme night, I was like, dang it, I wish I was a part of that. So certainly think Wicked Night, wish I was a part of that. You know what I mean? They've certainly been doing some really cool stuff where I'm like, dang it, I'm so sad I miss it. And I think actually what I miss the most, which would be impossible for me to go on if I'm honest, is touring. I'm probably not the most, maybe equally, but I miss that feeling of touring, going across the country, meeting everybody, seeing everyone, that live performance aspect of feeling everybody in front of you when you perform, and genuinely seeing the effect of what you're doing have on them. Does it make them emotional? Does it make them joyful? Do they get the storyline of it? Like, you get to transport people into this whole other world when you do a live show, and I really miss that. But like, as far as being on it, they have such an incredible cast now, and they have such an amazing lineup of women. And I don't know because you would have to replace someone with me, because they're not just going to add more and more couples to it. And I don't know who you would take off to put me in at this point, because everyone's so great.
well, and everyone's in different seasons and changing. And so maybe it would just be like we'll see. We're going to hold.
Pregnant.
Yes, yes. We're going to hold out like a positive.
I'll take that.
Just a positive space, because why not?
Why not?
Yes.
Yeah.
But I also am like excited to see your movies and see this new movie that you're filming. I'm like, okay, we're here for the Sharna empire that is just growing.
Thank you. Yeah, it's super fun. This next one I actually get to do with Brian, which is really cool.
Wait, is it like a rom-com?
No, we're not even
Okay.
the leads in it. It's like just a smaller thing that we're going to do on it. And it was brought to him, and the director of it was like, "Hey, does your fiance want to be in it? Like, you could be our counterparts in it." And he was like, "Yeah, she's an amazing actress. Let's do it." So yeah, we're going to get to do that one together, which is super fun, because I love he makes me look better, you know?
Yeah. Dream team.
I'd also love to pitch a Hallmark movie with you guys.
We had someone write a script of a movie trilogy about like a Hallmark type of movie for him and I about, obviously it had dance involved and a widowed dad and all sorts of things. It was a really, really great story. That was less than a year ago that someone had written that. And I don't know how that's going. They sent it to us and we were like, great, let us know if anything comes of it.
Okay.
But
Well,
wouldn't that be fun?
Yes.
literally secretly, I'm like, it would be so fun to do like a Hallmark movie. Like
Yeah.
who doesn't want to do that? And so I'm like, it just seems like it would be serendipitous for you guys to do that.
Yeah,
Or
let's
like,
manifest that. Let's make that happen. Whether it's
Yes.
that show or
Okay.
another one, we should totally do a Hallmark movie with each
yes,
other.
he
I
could
love
be
it.
like a
Yes.
musician. He could be making music,
Uh-huh.
just
And
just
I'm
kind
the
of,
dancer. I love it.
Life channeling art.
yeah.
Yeah.
Art
A
channeling
Hallmark
life.
Christmas movie.
Yeah.
Those ones never go out of style. Every Christmas they just
Uh-huh.
keep playing. Let's do a Hallmark
Uh-huh.
Christmas
The
movie.
best. I wanted to ask you. I had last night a chat with my husband, and we've kind of been on the fence of like, are we going to have a third baby?
Mm.
I'm 41 now, and we went back to back with our babies. It just felt like, okay, I think we are officially done. And when we talked to you before, it sounded like the door was still open. And I know you've
Mm.
talked about wanting to have a little girl to bring a little estrogen into the household. But you're
Yeah.
also now, it is hard as a woman. We have to balance these passions and these careers and our family making journey. Are you thinking much about that?
Still absolutely a dream to have another one. It honestly doesn't have to be a little girl. It would be beautiful to have a little girl. I think having another one in general would just be amazing. I always wanted two, wanted one of each, but whoever is meant to be mine, I think will come. Timing on it is hard. What I
So
do know is I checked and everything else, and we're talking about just freezing embryos at this point to secure it because I am again really in that. I'm 40. My body can still have a baby at 43, 44. And so I've hit this moment and I have some momentum on things and there's stuff moving that it's hard. It's such a hard conversation at 40. Right. Because you've got this time clock and then the risks are higher and you no guarantee that IVF works. And you just this fear that gets built in you of like, but what if I wait and it doesn't happen? And so that is genuinely still a fear. And we still genuinely want another one. We just know that right now, the idea of going back to diapers and newborn and the way that life is around that time, the way that I would want to do it again around that time, I kind of can't right now. I know that I need to do this for me. I need to roll with the momentum that I have and stay building and doing and growing. And then once those things are a bit more established and stuff is going on, then take that time and have another one. And so maybe it's at 43 or 44. My body is very young. I've looked after it my whole life. I also do peptides, which are now finally becoming a conversation. I've been doing them for over 10 years as far as longevity and muscle and tissue growth and repair. And so my body is in great shape. My eggs are in great shape. So the plan really is to freeze embryos now to secure the future for later. And then I know there's never a perfect time, but try and find a time where we can fit it in.
Yeah. We both each have a daughter via IVF. And what a beautiful thing that science, can help with that. And at least like ease our
Thank you.
minds, right? So that you're not so rushed because what an unfair thing, time and being a woman and the pressures of society and
also, boo, society, you got to do it now and don't wait too long. And people just have these negative views of women having a baby later in life. But why? Why when I want to have that baby when I can be wholly present and the kind of mother that I want to be, right? I don't want to have that newborn now and be thinking, God, I've missed out on some stuff now that I had rolling. So, and we are in this great position where we have control over that because Bride did the amazing thing of having a vasectomy after Zane because birth control and all the things.
Same.
And we still got pregnant with, you did it too?
Yeah, we did vasectomies. Yep.
Oh, there you go. Right. Because after we got pregnant, while I was on birth control, it was just like, we were so nervous to like have sex, man. I didn't want to have another baby straight away. We'd barely been together a year when we fell pregnant. We knew we wanted kids. It happened sooner rather than later. And it just felt like so much stress around the subject. No one wants stress around your intimate life with your partner. That is like
Not sexy.
You don't want to fall into. It's not sexy.
Yeah.
And so he did that amazing thing of having a vasectomy, knowing we can reverse, do IVF, all the things.
Yeah.
So we have that control, which is great.
Yeah.
Mhm.
We're in the same boat.
I'm not going to lie to you. I'm still nervous even after my husband had a vasectomy. I'm like, are we sure? Every time I go to the doctor, I'm like, are we sure?
Are we sure?
How sure are we?
They definitely snipped it, right? They didn't
Right?
miss
Yeah.
it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I get it.
Oh,
Trust me,
yeah.
I get it. Brian's
Yeah.
swimmers are very, very strong. And this is like headline news because he's spoken about this before, but all 5 of his kiddos were unplanned. They were all,
Wow.
yeah, I know they were just strong swimmers, man. It was like, and we're pregnant. And obviously he loves and cherishes every single one of them. The universe gives you what you're meant to have, but he's never had that experience of planning a baby.
Right.
Are we or aren't we? And the building and the getting ready for it. So it'll be great for him to have that experience too when we get to it.
Absolutely.
I will be curious. I almost feel like I'm going to need a follow-up convo because my husband and I found that the sex when you are intentionally trying to get pregnant is the worst sex we've ever had.
That's what Peter said. We were talking about the apps. I was she was joking about how they just pull out and pray. And
Yeah.
I was like, Peta Murgatroyd, what are you doing? And we're talking about apps because I track my period and on an app. Greatest thing I ever did, made me feel way less crazy. Stop gaslighting myself for why I was feeling the way I was feeling. Oh my God, game changer. But she said she had to stop using them because it was making her crazy and it made the sex feel like a chore and it was just the worst.
Yeah.
So much pressure on it. So I totally, and I get how it does that.
Yeah.
Which is one of the reasons we're like, do we just reverse and go the natural way? Do we just...
You can.
And which I sort of goes against, I guess, what we were saying because it makes the stress into it. But I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll most likely do IVF.
Yeah.
You know what? Any way you want to do it, that's also the beauty of the times that we're in. It's like we can control it and we can have assistance or no assistance or plan it or not plan it. Like in any way, all the ways are good ways.
Yeah.
Is
Anyway,
how
make
I
a baby.
feel. But
Yeah.
I agree with you. The sex when you're trying was, I remember one time we were going to a concert and I was like, ovulating, let's do it. And it was like so unsexy and like it just isn't fun. It's not fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know we're almost out of time.
Are
So
we? God, that went so
it
fast.
it goes like the fastest. But we, as a boy mom, we talk about this a lot, like with, we're girl moms and stuff. And we had someone on last week and we talked about like what keeps you up at night as a boy mom. And you have the beauty of like having kids and bonus kids and all different ages. And so I'm curious, like what keeps you up at night? Is there anything where you're like just praying and having these conversations at night with your friends or with Brian about things that are weighing on your heart?
What keeps me up at night is making sure that I'm raising good men in the world. We often have conversations about what no can look like because it's not always the word no, what a no can look like. And to be understanding that I want to raise good boys and they're amazing boys. Don't get me wrong. They're wonderful, but I was an only child. No, I was a girl. And so boys, roughhouse and they this and they that. So, and sometimes I'm like, oh my God, is this normal? But my mum friends that have boys are like, no, normal. Boy energy is psychotic. So and I embrace that and I love it. I even nurture that too, to give them space to roughhouse and have those things and to exert that energy. I've learned that that's very important. But with the way that the world is right now, so much there, but we'll leave that there. I want to raise good men within it so they can be the change moving forward, a part of that change moving forward of respecting women's rights and boundaries and what the word no means. And to understand that like a woman doesn't have to cook and clean for you, buddy. You can do it yourself. You could do it for her. I don't want there to be these traditional roles of what you think a girl does and a boy does. No, how about we just do teamwork and we all do it together? And finding balance in that way. I don't want them to be a man child that needs a wife to do everything for them. And we can accidentally raise that by being parents that just need to get it done, especially when you have multiples. You're like, here, I'm going to get it done. Here's this. You accidentally do everything for your kids. And then you look up and you're like, why can't you tie your shoelaces? You know what I mean? As an example,
Yeah.
it's not actually what happened. So I really want to raise good men that understand these prehistoric, archaic roles of what a man and woman does is not necessarily the way they have to live. And they certainly don't grow up in a household like that. And I want them to see what real communication looks like, what listening looks like, what respecting boundaries looks like, what setting boundaries looks like and holding them. All these things that I didn't learn as a kid. And I think are really important in having healthy relationships. And if you understand them yourself, then you understand what they look like when someone else is doing it as well in front of you. I just want to raise good men. It was probably not the most succinct answer. I just want to raise good men that are good to the people around them, that can be a part of the change, that respect everyone, a woman's right to choose, and respect that we're equal.
That was honestly the best answer.
Yeah. Agree.
Yes. I think, as parents, we're all trying to do that, but to hear you say that and that you guys are actively, really working on that, like what no means, like what an important conversation.
It was really, I don't even remember where I saw or listened to it, but it was, well, I've had conversations about no for a long time. The other one I talked to them about was that they're at an age when girls at school might be getting their period, how to be gentlemanly for that, never point, laugh, take your sweatshirt off, give it to her, tie it around her waist, tell her to go see a teacher, like trying to have them be understanding of things like that. But I saw or listened to something and the person had said what no can look like, because it's not always the word no. And I was like, oh, that needs to be involved in my teachings here, because sometimes in situations, a person can feel really uncomfortable, but still say yes, anyone, regardless of gender, to not steamroll people into things. And so that very quickly became a part of the conversation, what a no can look like.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. That's food for the soul right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Important stuff.
Yeah. It's going to be so fun to watch these boys grow up and just see the men they become, because you're doing such a great job. Truly.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And
Gosh, I'm like, we have a million questions. I'm like, where do we even wrap this up? I always want to know, what do you wish, now that you're a mom? What do you wish more women knew before they became a mom?
I don't know. I'll share a conversation I had with a mum friend. She was a teacher at the school. I saw her at the farmer's market, and I could just tell she's in motherhood. I think her little one's about 6 months old, and she was really struggling with that. Like, I'm so used to going to school and getting things done and yada, 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 but I'm just here. So we're going on the outings and we're doing all of this. She was just feeling like I don't want to say a slave to motherhood, but the consumingness of it. The best thing I said to her is that it's temporary. All the stages are temporary. They don't last very long. This stage will pass and then you'll be in another one and a new one. And it goes so fast. But that feeling of the loss of identity, that loss of independence in a way, the who am I after you have kids, I think we all experience. You are still you, but better. You are still you, but more, forever expanded into different ways with deeper compassion and understanding, a stronger fierceness in you to stand up for what you think is right, a stronger desire to set boundaries and protect your space. It only improves you, but you do have that hazy moment of, oh my God, where am I in all of this other than a food sack or bouncing the baby, trying to get him to sleep. That part is temporary.
Yeah.
You will come back. But for that moment in time, you just have to surrender, like Peter did. Surrender to the fact that all you need to be right now is what they need. And then what you need will come back.
I could listen to you talk about motherhood all day long. That made me emotional. And I'm so grateful you phrased it that way because I think there's such a conversation about what motherhood takes away from us.
Mm.
But you talking about how it adds to us, it makes us fiercer, it makes us stronger. I mean, that's so true. And I think that's the way we need to look at it. It is the most heart expanding thing you'll
Mhm.
ever do in your life. Thank you for
Mhm.
that. That was
Yeah.
beautiful. Yeah.
I think we all need to like set that as our alarm in the morning, what
I
you
know.
just said, because it's true. Like you see on social media, like all these moms are so tired and they're exhausted and they're like, I'm having to pivot, or how do I go back into the workforce? Or I even made a video that was like, oh my gosh, me waiting for my husband to get home. And it's like, yeah, it's such a beautiful thing and it is so temporary. We will sleep again.
You will sleep again.
Such a good reminder that like I definitely needed to hear this morning for
Yes.
sure.
And you know what? God, the universe, whoever you believe in, chose us to do it because we're the only ones that can,
Ain't that the truth?
Uh-huh.
right?
Like men
And
could never, and not to like, because men do a lot of things, and I love men, not to like put them down, but they could never,
they could never.
No.
never.
They could never. And we all know what the end of that sentence is. They could, do you know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They could. I saw this funny thing. Sorry, we'll wrap up after this. That was like, if you want to feel like so appreciated by if you have a male partner, if you want to feel appreciated, leave them with your kids for like 3 days,
Yeah.
and it's like they will, no help, like just them and the kids, because it's so much more than just watching the kids, right? Like
Right.
you're teaching them, you are preparing their meals for them, you are wiping
Yeah.
their dirty bums, you are bathing them, and like, I'm lucky my husband does a lot of that, but
Yeah.
for 3 days with zero help, like, man, they have a whole
Yeah.
new respect for what women
They do.
often do more so than they do.
I gotta say though, Brian, I mean, he's 5 deep now, so he's had a lot of practice, but he is a champ when it comes to that. And
Yeah.
I actually just got back from 3 days in Big Bear. It was one of my girlfriend's birthday, and we went up there together and just spent some time. I even recently was like, I need a little reset, and he's like, okay, go. Went to Big Bear and took some time. He can hold the fort down. Now, we
Yes.
might order pizza more than I would order pizza. Okay. There are things, sure, that mums and dads just do differently,
Mhm.
but that man can hold down a fort full of kids. He'll even have kids come over for sleepovers at the same
Oh.
time. So I am very, very lucky.
Yes, I love that. Jason did that this weekend too. He was like, "Go, get out, go get your nails done,
Yeah.
have
Isn't it
fun."
nice?
Oh
Yeah.
my, it's a game changer. It's a game
Yeah.
changer to feel supported in your relationship.
Yeah. We're very lucky because not
Yeah.
everybody has that support.
So
Exactly.
true.
Well, Sharna, you're wonderful. We are so excited for your podcast to continue growing. And I think one of the things about like, yeah, having a podcast is like sharing other people's podcasts. And that's why we wanted to have you back so that you could talk about that. And if there's anything else you want to say about, your new podcast or a topic that's like unexpected that you guys are talking about or plan to talk about. And
Who knows where it's going to go. We go off on our tangents, but I'm grateful that people seem to follow it. I know that we have planned on having our significant others come in, that we want to do a cool episode. We're also talking about bringing our mums in. Our mums are also friends. Peter's mum also lives in LA, so they get together and have coffee and lunch sometimes.
are Brian and Max friends?
Yeah, of course.
I love that.
Love that.
I mean, they don't like go on bro dates and golf together because again, life is busy. Peter and I barely get that. But absolutely, we were a couple of years ago planning on all going to Hawaii together. I can't remember why I think it was a COVID thing. It didn't happen. Someone got sick. But yeah, we're all very, very close. And I love that we blended that part of my friendship and family too, so we can all hang out. We're new, we're growing, and the fact that people are loving it so much so far is amazing.
Well, Sharna, you are a dream. You are a queen. You are an amazing human. I've always felt that about you. And we're so grateful for your time. So, you guys go check out her new podcast. Follow her on Instagram if you're not already. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. As we always like to say, motherhood is a sisterhood. And have a wonderful rest of your week.
Thanks for hanging out with us on Between Us Moms.
Don't forget to follow us for more mom content and good conversations on all the socials.
We're also on Substack and have a newsletter filled with tips, tea, meal ideas, and mom stuff you won't want to miss.
And we've got a secret Facebook group to connect and talk even more.
Go find us.